Well, on behalf of the United States Naval Academy, our football program, and our school, it's a great honor for us to be here. I know there's been a lot made out about the weather and all the rain. We are grateful to be here, and it's a lot warmer here than it is on the East Coast. So for our young men here, it's been a great opportunity for us to be here. I'd like to thank everybody involved at the Poinsettia Bowl, San Diego County Credit Union. We've been to this bowl a couple times, and the people here are so nice and so hospitable, and it's always a great experience for our team, our coaches, their families, and we want to thank everybody involved and for making this a very enjoyable experience for our team. I'd like to congratulate Coach Hoke and the San Diego State Aztecs. Everybody involved in coaching that knows anything about anything knows the kind of man that he is and the reputation that he has amongst coaches. Old school, hard-nosed coach, preaches toughness to his kids, and you can just see it as you watch their team play. We had a great win. I was telling Coach Hoke, great win beating our rival school. So you have the euphoria of leaving Lincoln Financial, driving from Philadelphia back to Annapolis, and you come back and you start getting ready for this game, and you put on the tape, and the euphoria of winning that game quickly leaves as you see, Hillman and Ryan Lindley throw the football and their defense run around. But, we're excited to play a great team. We're excited to be here, and I know our young men are very, very excited for this game and to be here. Thank you for having us.
Questions for Coach Niumatalolo.
Coach, have you had a chance to examine the field, and do you have any concerns about the playing conditions?
No. Really, there's no use in us examining the field. It's going to be wet. It is what it is, and we just got to go. And plus we've been practicing it on the ballroom carpet, so I think the carryover is going to be minimal. So I kind of look at it as, football is still a game. Sometimes, college football's become big business, but these are young men that grew up playing football. All of us grew up playing in the backyard when it's raining, and I think all of us loved playing football when it was raining in the backyard. And so we're excited to strap it on one more time. For our seniors, this is going to be the last time for them to do that. And so whether it's raining, whether it's dry, whatever the conditions are, we're excited to be here.
If the conditions are sloppy, how does that impact your strategy, and how do you expect it to impact you?
Well, we're still going to do what we're going to do. I'm sure Coach Hoke and them will do what they do too. It is what it is. There's certain variables in football you can control: how hard you play, your mental assignments. Some things you can't control: the weather, the crowd, the atmosphere, and you can't worry about that stuff. You just try to do the best you can with the variables that you can control, and the rest of it, don't really worry about it too much.
Coach, there are certain variables on your offense that you use, and I know that Coach Hope is not even listening to this about this option right now and what you do with it, but some of us are old enough to remember the fear, a backfield with three, a single wing, a T. You run variations of literally all of this. Can you kind of explain to this? And once again, Coach Hope is not listening.
It doesn't matter. Coach Hoke, I've played Coach Hoke twice at Ball State. He knows his offense. Anything I say is not going to be news to him. He knows what we do. So does Coach Long. But we're basically a broken bone. In the old days, the bone, three guys would be in the backfield. Our guys are up on the line of scrimmage in a double slot formation. And Coach Johnson is the guy that kind of we got all of our stuff from. And the reason they broke away from that is just the threat of four vertical immediately, as opposed to guys being 5 to 6 yards in the backfield. So, I think what ended up happening to some of the bone people is people got so close to the line of scrimmage because they could still run supports and still play action pass because guys are in the backfield. But having guys closer to the line of scrimmage still allows you to run all your option stuff, but also having the threats of having four verticals. So that's the reason we went to it. But it's an old school wishbone veer option team.
You could have changed this offense. Especially with these young men who have grown through the program, and it's usually for, I guess you could say, inferior athletes. But you got a pretty good crop of athletes, guys that have grown through the years.
Well, I don't know. I don't know if this offense was devised because people had inferior, talent. I mean, when Oklahoma was winning with Billy Sims and people like that, back in Nebraska, I mean, that's some pretty good players and they're doing well. It's just the way the game's evolved. Everybody now is in the gun running spread offense. We're a spread option team. The reason I stuck with it because I know it works, and for us, it gives us an opportunity to compete. We don't have the biggest guys in the world, so we don't have linemen that are 330 pounds, but if you get two guys that are 270, and maybe get into some combination blocks, hopefully it helps you overcome some of that. It's an offense based on numbers. We stuck with it because it gives us a chance at the Naval Academy to compete, and we feel like it fits in well with their personnel.
Coach, there's talk that because of that offense being unique, it's hard to have a scout team imitate it. Conversely, have you had any trouble imitating the offense?
Yeah, well, unless we got a bazooka out there to throw the football, you know what I mean, and just throw it, just watching Ryan throw the football, the guy has a cannon. We're an option team. We don't have anybody that can throw the football like them, and they can stretch you they stretch you in so many ways. Running the football, throwing the ball vertically, it's kind of like pick your poison. Do you stay back and they kill you with the run game, or do you try to take away the run game and the ball's going over your head? And so we just do the best we can, like everybody else. You try to get ready for people's best plays, and try to prepare for what you see on film, and you roll the ball out there and see what happens. That's basically always been our approach.
Coach, your seniors had a chance to set some really outstanding marks, most victories by a senior class, and the 2 back-to-back penalty seasons. How important is that for you to try to help them? Would you like to see them accomplish those things?
Well, I speak not only for myself but Coach Hoke. I don't think any coach that's entering their last game of a bowl season, would want their seniors to lose. And I know what they meant to our program. I know we all know where they're going after they're playing, and so for the last time that they get to put on their cleats and to put on their pads, hopefully for them it would be a memorable experience. So yes, it would be a great thing for them to end up with a win. We're going to do all we can, to try to get that, but we know it's going to be tough.
What are you looking for when you recruit a quarterback? I'm struck by how well your guy passes. Is that you wanted guys to pass first?
Well, we kind of took a chance on him. We've normally taken option guys that maybe don't throw very well and try to teach them how to throw, run the option. Ricky was a guy that was in the gun in high school. He threw the football, but we could tell he's an athletic kid. And when he came, the guy that recruited him in Georgia said, there's something special about this kid. And so Coach Jasper, who was the quarterback coach then, who's now the offensive coordinator, took him on the trust of another coach. Because, he can watch tape, but it's the coach that actually recruits him that knows the kid, that knows the intangibles that he has. And so we took him on the premise that this, the kid might have something special. And he's been everything that we thought. He's just a tremendous leader. It's hard to yell at him. I'm kind of an emotional guy, and I like to yell a lot. And and I can tell when I start to yell at him. I got to stop because he looks at you, and you just feel so bad because he's such a great person. It's kind of my nature to yell, and he's just such a great human being. But his throwing ability has allowed us to throw the football, not more, but take deeper chances that we used to take. We never threw some of the passes before that were thrown with him. We're still not going to throw the ball 40 times. We're going to throw an efficient amount to give us a chance to compete, but he allows us to take deeper chances with the football.
I'm also curious, you call him as such dedicated, intelligent athletes. Does that translate into a more sophisticated brand of football?
No, option football is very simple. It's all based off numbers, and it's how do I put this without? Well, I'm proud of where I graduated from, but we ran this offense at the University of Hawaii. We weren't a bunch of electrical engineering majors on a football team, but and so it's a very simple offense. It's sound. I always tell people it's like the pick and roll with Stockton and Malone. If you switch, they do this. If you try to do this, they backdoor you. It's just based off what people do. It's not anything complicated. It's not like people don't know what you're doing. Defensive coordinators have seen this offense for years. What's helped us is the fact that guys don't see it too often, and we know that that helps us. Teams might have 2 days to prepare for us. You're seeing guys in 4 wides or 5 wides for 11 weeks, and then we come, doing something totally different, and that's been part of the reason we use it, because we know it helps us with an advantage standpoint. But technically, it's like any other offense. I wouldn't say it's harder than anything else.
Coach, have you seen any type of offense like Coach Hope's, Coach Long's, a 3-3-5? Have you seen any
Defense, yeah. Well, Coach Long we played, New Mexico in the in the Emerald Bowl back in 2004. But he's a man that has a great reputation around the country as far as defense. So, when he's at Oregon State, when he's at New Mexico, everybody knows about Coach Hoke. Also, is a defensive coach, and everybody knows about his reputation, and so you don't see as much people playing in 3-3-5. At one point, there are a lot of people doing it. People have kind of strayed away from it a little bit, going to some 3-4, some odd front stuff. But everybody's so much into a lot of different fronts and multiple defenses that, you pretty much see everything week in and week out.